Hi guys, hope you're doing well during these turbulent testing times. As some of you know, this week is my birthday week and I've got the week off from work just because I couldn't really be bothered spending my birthday week working, quite frankly. And each night I've been doing I say each night, it's only Tuesday, but I'm going to be doing a live stream, basically a live beer review. I'm probably uploading stuff in between, but that's not important. And I was thinking, on my birthday, I'm going to be, albeit with limited capacity, of course, aka the people who I actually live with, I'm going to be surrounded by people who I love and care for. I've got a roof over my head. I've got extra large clothes on my back. I'll have beer in my belly as well as food pretty much when I want it. I've got regular income. I'm able to actually take a week off and still get, holiday pay. And it just got me thinking, and this is a subject that I've touched on quite a few times, really, on social media and YouTube. And it's one of those things where I'll make a video, then I'll delete it after a day or so. But it is something that is very close to my heart because I have, albeit in a small sense, I have suffered from mental health, and there has been one moment that sticks out in my mind when I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to end it. I'm not going to go into the story of that because that's really not what this video is about. And with especially what's going on now, it just made me really think how lucky that I am as a person. And then it got me thinking about men's mental health. And I've just been doing some very quick research. There's a wealth of information to be looked into online. But I just thought I'd go over a few little facts. Sort of like the opening statement is, according to the Office of National Statistics, and this is from a report from April 2020, 12 men, on average, kill themselves each day. And it got me thinking, as I'm having a little bit of a good time talking to you guys on the stream, I've got people in the house, I've got my friends. On that day, there'll be 12 men. Could be less on that day, could be more on that day in the UK, specifically England, Wales, whatever, who will have taken their lives. And it's a really sobering thought. So what I'm going to be doing on the live streams, each live stream, I'm going to be putting a link down below to not necessarily just a men's mental health charity or organisation. And don't read this as me, just trying to take away from the situation that women find themselves in. It's not one of those sort of things. But let's be honest, when it comes to men's mental health, and it's a lot of it we can blame on society and stigma and attitudes and that sort of thing, but a lot of it comes down to the actual individual themselves. And I think men's mental health is something that we just don't talk about. And some people think that if they talk about it, it shows weakness, or they don't want to be they don't want to be a burden on someone else. But we need to step away from that mindset. So this isn't one of those sorts of things. There's some absolutely shocking female-specific statistics out there as well. And it's just generally, it doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, young, old, Doesn't matter what your ethnic background, doesn't matter what your sexuality is, doesn't matter. The idea that there are people out there who get to such a point where the only way out is to end their lives. It's just horrifying. It's one of the many horrifying things about existence. So I was just having a little look at some actual statistics. And as I said, all of these are easily available online if you look properly. And then, of course, if you are suffering yourself, there are organisations out there on a national, international, and also a local level. But yeah, for each stream that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be putting a link down below to a specific mental health charity. And I implore people, you don't necessarily have to donate money, but just educate yourself. Just share this information because, let's face it, 2020 and 2021 with the COVID situation, we obviously don't know those statistics yet. It takes a while to collate these, and so I shudder to hear what those statistics are in a couple of years' time for this period. And it's a time when we should all be coming together, not pulling each other apart, ripping each other apart because of their different beliefs on the severity of the situation. Do you know what I mean? This is probably the time in our history that we should be looking out for each other and looking after ourselves and our loved ones and being a shoulder to cry on, you know, or being that one person who you can fall back on and talk to. But we're just pulling each other apart, even on like a political, socio level as well. But we're not going to get into that because that's not what this is about, really. So yeah, on each stream, there'll be a link down below. And yeah, that's really my birthday wish, really, is for people to... and I know I look like a mess, but it doesn't really matter. It's just to be a bit more mindful and look out for people. I mean, I've learned from experience and from my own personal way of dealing with things. When people come to me or keep asking about me, I get it. It's well-intentioned and it means the world to me, but it can be overwhelming. So, yeah, I don't know how I'd fully articulate this. But we'll just quickly go over some statistics, and then at the end, I'm going to just give you a list of organisations for you to check out if you are going through something. And as I've always said, if anybody ever wants to reach out to me, who am I really? I'm just a working class guy in the middle of Skelmersdale. I don't have a reach, you know. I'm not a special person. I'm just a normal, everyday chap at the end of the day. Chap, don't say chap. You know, we've all got faults. We've all got our kinks. We've all got our... When I meant kinks, you know what I mean. See, that's one of my defence mechanisms, is to try and find humour, which can be not always the best option, especially when you're surrounded by others. But, yeah, anyway, I'm going to be highlighting those organisations as well for people who need them. So these statistics are pretty much aimed at men, but again, I'm not trying to take away from females who might be suffering at this moment. Anybody who's suffering, I just wish you all the best. And yeah, it's a problem that we're still working on. And it is good to see that the stigma is slightly being lifted. But I think we still, as a society, fundamentally don't really appreciate the struggles of certain individuals. So, these are some mental health statistics, men's mental health statistics that I looked up. And yes, I'm just pretty much reading them from a list. I can't remember the source of these statistics specifically that I'm going to be reading out now. Let me see. Because I want to be as obviously transparent as I possibly can. This is from the mentalhealth.org.uk, so the Mental Health Foundation. So 1 in 8 men have common mental health problems, such as depression, anxiety, panic disorder, and OCD. 3 times as many men, on average, commit suicide compared to women, with the highest rate of suicide being men between the age of 40 and 49. Men tend to report lower levels of life satisfaction. Men are also less likely to access psychological therapies, with only about 36%. Sorry if I stumble over my words, by the way. I'm terrible at reading. I do apologise. 36%. There's only a 36%, I've written this terribly, NHS referrals. That was a really badly constructed sentence, but I think you can gather what I was trying to say there. Almost 3/4 of missing adults are men. This is within the UK, by the way. I'm not sure what the statistics are internationally or for specific countries or regions. And my message goes out to everyone, no matter where you are in the world. But again, you have access to this information. So if this UK information isn't relevant to you, again, I implore you to... The internet can be an awful place at times, but there's never been as much information that's so easily accessible than there is now. Men are 3 times more likely to become alcohol dependent, and also 3 times unlikely to report regular drug use. Men are more likely to be victims of violent crime. 1.5, this is how it was written, more likely than women. So is that 1.5 men are more likely than women? And also men are more likely, statistically, to be sectioned. In 2017 alone, almost 6,000 suicides were reported in the UK. And just under 75% of those were men. And it was actually the largest cause of death for men under the age of 50. In 2019, 5,691 suicides were registered in England and Wales. And once again, roughly around 3/4 of those were men. And then the statistic that we opened with, on average, 12 men kill themselves each day in the UK. It's just absolutely awful reading these statistics and the research. Luckily, up until this point, I haven't lost any family member to suicide. I can't begin to even imagine what that must be like for the people who were left behind. And I just do not agree with that sentiment that suicide is selfish. Because unless you've been at that point, which luckily it's only happened once, and I was able to pull myself out of it straight away, because I was able to rationalise and realise what I would be missing out on and the people I would be leaving behind and the grief that they would have and carry for the rest of their lives. But not everyone can do that. And this notion that suicide is a selfish act, I just can't fathom it. I just really, really can't fathom it. And my heart goes out to anyone who's lost someone to suicide, to any of you guys out there who have attempted it, and thankfully you're still here to tell the tale. But it's it's just an absolute public health travesty. So here's a selection of foundations, charities, forums, websites for people to go out there. And this isn't all just male oriented. So there's the Men's Health Forum, and I'm going to be putting the links down below. There's Calm, Movember, the Mental Health Foundation, manhealth.org, Samaritans, Men's Minds Matter, Brothers in Arms, Andy's Man Club, Men 2, or it might be Men Squared, and the Lions Barber Collective. That's just a tiny fraction of the resources out there for people who are suffering right now. And as I said, you never know, there might be a local outreach. There might be locally based charities and foundations and individuals who you can speak to. And I've always found, and this won't work for everyone else, but when I'm really feeling down, I do find that if I keep my mind active and keep busy, which is hard to do at this point in history, that's one of the things that really does help me get over whatever issue I'm having at the time. And I'm not going to lie, obviously 2020 was awful, but I was very lucky. But come the winter of 2020 and up to even today, it has been really hard. But luckily I can find strength each day. I'll have lows. I'll post some really soppy stuff around. And I'll probably be a little bit off with people who care about me. But I am just so fucking blessed. And apologies that I swore there. And if I can use my platform, which is very small, very, very small, to help change even one person's life or dissuade them from taking drastic measures or even being able to relate to their own situations, and then that means the absolute fucking world to me. Subscribers don't matter in that regard. But I appreciate each and every one who does subscribe and watches my videos and comments and shares, and I absolutely love that. But the fact that, and I'm not sure if it has happened, I'm not sure if I've ever helped anyone, but that prospect really does fill me with happiness. And yeah, that's it really. So yeah, go check out those resources down below. If you think that someone's going through something, obviously you have to be very careful with how you approach it. It's not always the best to just go in all guns blazing, because a lot of people just don't need that when they're going through stuff. And don't be afraid to take time out from people, from something. If it helps you work on you, then you've got to do what you've got to do. And but if you know someone who is suffering and there is stuff that you can do your best. Talk to them. Don't even talk to them, just let them vent. Just let them air whatever they're going through. There's no right or wrong answers with this. Each individual has their own way of coping. But there are things that we can do to help people and to help ourselves. And there are some absolutely amazing individuals and organisations. And yeah, just wanted to say that really. I'm going to upload this now. And yeah, check out all those links down below. And you all take care. You all stay safe. And I look forward to seeing you guys again. See you guys later.